What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Claudia, as you guys already know. If you guys are out here, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you guys are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe. So today, I'm going to be reacting to scary story that I said in my last YouTube video. Yeah. So this first story is the creepy guy that stuck the girl through TikTok. So let's go.
This happened pretty recent, about 3 weeks ago. Myself and 3 friends were hanging out at a shopping center one evening. We were messing around posting
But
pics on
that
TikTok.
doesn't sound
Then
like
one
a
of my
girl
friends
voice
started laughing,
at all.
and I asked her what she was laughing at. She told me that guy behind us kept staring at me. When I turned around, it was some older guy just watching me. He had black sunglasses, a cap, an old Adidas tracksuit with scuffed up shoes, and had a disgusting looking beard. My friends thought it was hilarious, but I found it really weird. Then another one of my friends said she thinks that guy lives on her street, about a few houses down from her. She said that he actually follows her on TikTok. At that point, I quickly got my phone out to check if he was following me,
Seriously?
and he was. I had to block him because he seemed a bit creepy. We went to get McDonald's before we went home, and I received a message on TikTok from someone. It was that guy who had been following us. His name was Greg, and he wrote, "Why did you block me?"
Because you are
With 2
creepy.
emojis. One was a crying face, and the other one was an angry face. He had actually created another account that day in the shopping center. I blocked that account as well, hoping that would be the end of it. I didn't mention it to my friends this time, knowing they would just laugh. That night, I was up late and had Netflix on in the background as I was chatting with my friends on Facebook while scrolling through TikTok. I got up to use the bathroom, and when I returned, I had 3 messages from my friends, all saying the same thing. All were things like, "Who's in your room?" and "What's up with your last post?" I asked them what they were talking about, and they told me to check my TikTok, so I did. It was a clip of my bedroom. It was a clip of someone picking up my phone and recording the inside of my room. At that point, I heard a creaking. Then I
Yeah.
heard a man's voice say, "Sorry, please don't scream."
Seriously?
In turn, to
When
see
you are
my
inside my
closet
room
door
and you are
slightly
telling me to
open.
not scream?
I started to scream when the same guy who had been following us burst out of my closet and tried to cover my mouth. Thank God I screamed and it was enough for my parents to hear. They came upstairs and my dad tackled the guy to the floor. The police were called and he was arrested. We were informed that the guy had straight up admitted to stalking and breaking and entering. One of my friends pointed out, if I go back and look at the post on TikTok from when we were in the shopping center,
It's everywhere.
you can see Greg is
Like,
in
it's
almost all of
everywhere.
those pictures, somewhere in the background. I haven't heard what's going to happen to Greg yet, but I just hope he won't ever come near us again.
Yeah. So this wasn't scary at all, it was just shocking. It's a shocking story, not scary story. On a scale for 1 to 10, I gave it 5 because I wasn't scared at all. So let's move to the other one, another one. Like DJ Khaled, another one. This next story is about camp. Yeah. That's summertime when you have an horrible camp.
This
story,
happened when it was our
horrible
school's
camp
camping day.
night.
All the grades
let's
went
go.
to each other's places, and our teacher had taken the 6 students to this large site that was quite cheap. It started off all right. I got a room with some of my friends at the time, and my closer friends were in the next room. The first incident started when I was the only one in my room, still packing mine and the other people's stuff away. I was on the bottom bunk, letting my mate take the top. When I looked up was some sentence, and it said, "Hello, you are going next," with a creepy smile.
Seriously?
On the second day, we all went outside. There were teepee tents next to a field. I hung out in one with one of my friends. Some others hung out in a second tent. But in the third tent, I saw a shadow with a knife. I told the teacher and another student who went in, but didn't come out. But nobody believed me, and there was nobody inside the tent. I thought something was really weird.
Yeah.
On the third day,
Something's
3 of my
really
roommates
weird.
were out on a day trip with some others, which I was going to do the next day. I had done a mud course, and after that, I decided to have a shower. The water was black and disgusting, which added to this horrible week. All of a sudden, when I was still in the shower booth, the doorknob was shaking. I screamed, and when I got out, I saw a handwriting, "You won't leave alive," on the wall. Then I saw a shadow in the window. My room's door was locked while I was having a shower, so no one could enter in our room. The fourth day, I was taking a walk someplace that no one knew, and then I found a huge knife and blood-soaked clothes. I just hoped that this stupid and terrible camp would finish soon. Then the last night, I woke up in the middle of the night because I saw the same shadow leaving my room. And there was a knife on the floor, again. I couldn't sleep the
Seriously?
rest of that night. The last day, I was left to clean the room and set the beds for the students, whoever would use it next. When I was about to finish, I saw the door and it said, "You are lucky you survived. I didn't have enough time, but next, I will not let you go."
I'm not coming
I
back.
panicked, so I
Issa.
ran from that creepy room.
I'm not coming
I
back.
told my teacher. However, by the time we got back, it was gone. As I got onto the bus, I looked in the window of that room, and the shadow stared back at me, with a decapitated head in one hand, and in the other hand, the same knife I had seen twice. Later, when I came back from the camp, I heard about that place. It was an orphanage and a mental institution that had many mysterious deaths. To this day, I wondered what would have happened if I'd spent longer than 5 days at that place.
Okay, this was also creepy, but was scary just a little bit because I was checking at my bag. Like seriously, I don't need any shit like that. For this second video, on a scale from 1 to 10, I gave it 7. I think so, 7. You guys should comment down below how many you guys gave it. So on a scale from 1 to 10, I give it 7. Let's move to the next one. This is the last one, so let's move to the next one. This one said, "I went in the wrong ride and almost got killed." Okay.
This is not about my story, but someone from my church, and he wanted to share his experience with
From
anyone
the
else.
church, okay?
He's a 32-year-old man, and his pseudonym is Mark. He's a fairly big guy, and this situation took place when he was on his way home from work. He said that he had lost his phone 1 week before this
I
whole
hate
situation
that.
happened, so he couldn't call and get any help during this story. It was quite late, around 11 p.m. He had finished work and was walking to a taxi stop location, and when he got there, a few people were standing around waiting as well. After about 2 minutes, he noticed that there was a minivan approaching. Usually minivans are cheaper than taxis, and he felt tired that day, so he decided to take the minivan. He sat on a seat, and there was a young boy seated in the passenger side next to the driver who was collecting the fare. And then, two other boys who looked like teenagers also boarded the minivan and sat in the seats in front of him. Once the minivan took off, after about 5 minutes, the boy asked if they would like to drink some Coke. The boys accepted and started
No.
drinking. And they also gave it to Mark. Mark was also
Seriously?
feeling thirsty, so he took it, but only a sip. Not much later, he started feeling
Because the
drowsy.
drug they drink.
Just before he
You
about
don't
laid his
just
head
take
on the
anything
seat
from
beside him,
strangers.
he noticed that those two boys were already knocked out. After he laid his head down, he heard noises coming from the back seats. Two people were talking in a different language. The car was passing a big signboard that showed Crest
Oh, shit.
Chicken Farm. And then he finally passed out.
You
When he
don't
got up, he
pass
found
out
himself
in
inside a big
situation like
shed-like barn,
this, bro.
and there were some tools on a big
Because you
table.
don't know what's next.
He was on the floor, and the other two teenage boys were laying next to him. He still felt a bit drowsy, but he managed to get himself up as he was looking for an escape. He saw that the two boys were still passed out, so he tried waking them, but they wouldn't budge. As Mark was kind of a big man, he tried to see if he could carry one of them, but it was hard to do because even Mark was having a hard time to stand properly. And then he heard voices. He took a peek from the door, and 3 people were walking toward the big shed, coming from a house on the hill, which was quite close to the shed. Mark panicked and tried to look for another exit. He was looking around the place, and he found one at the end of the shed, luckily. He approached quietly and escaped as fast as he could. At this point, his vision was all blurry, but he managed to find a fence door and unlocked it. He heard the people shouting, but he ignored. He just kept on running. When he finally reached his house, it was early morning, around 5 a.m. His wife was up all night waiting for him and ran out the front door as soon as she saw him. He collapsed and slept for almost the whole day. When he woke up and finally got a chance to explain to his wife what had transpired that night, he remembered about the other 2 boys who were still there. Then he contacted the police immediately. He told the police about the road signs and a big billboard for Crest Chicken Farm and other things that he could remember. About 2 weeks after, there was a police report about how they found 2 teenage boys' bodies in a
No,
lake,
they were dead.
and advised that when they examined the bodies, all their organs were missing. Mark just stood in fear. And as the event was too traumatic for him, Mark had to quit a job for a while.
It's finished. Oh my god. That was shocking. Wasn't creepy at all. And it wasn't scary but shocking. I don't even know what to say right now, because if that guy did not escape, seriously, I don't even know what would have happened. You don't just take anything from strangers. This is an example for that. Okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, I give it 8 because the guy survived it. And it wasn't scary but just shocking. I gave it 8. So this is going to be the last reaction for this video, and I'm going to do many more, so you guys should stay tuned. Don't forget to go and follow me on my Instagram, follow me on my social media. I'll put it down in the description below. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.